Good morning, afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is for you. Cyclo, it's time for Let's Play Train Simulator Classic. Well, we're back in the middle of winter, apparently, and we're having trouble. Hence why this is called Winter Troubles. Snowy weather disrupts the service from Gillingham to London, Victoria. So a Chatham mainline service. We don't have a lot of the Chatham mainline on this DLC, so we only got about a few stations worth that this service could potentially take part in. New Cross Gate is most likely assuredly part of this service. That's probably where we're going to be beginning, somewhere in the New Cross Gate area. But I could be wrong. We could be starting somewhere else in the network, maybe at Kent House, which I believe is also on the Chatham Main Line. So this DLC actually did come before the Chatham Main Line by, I think, about a year. So the Chatham Main Line really became Dovetail Games' feature route at that point, around 2016, 2017, whenever the Chatham Main Line came out. That's when this became the feature route. For the company, because that's where they're also located, off the Chatham station, I believe. So this came before that, that service could probably be replicated in some part on that route as well, because London Victoria is also replicated on the Chatham mainline route all the way to Gillingham. So this service could be completely run on that route, literally as it stands right now, and then some, because it can go to Faversham and Dover and Ramsgate on the next part of the DLC as well, which came out in 2021, last year, as I'm recording this. So, yeah, that's a little bit of history about the DLC. We're doing the South London Network version of this today, which is a much shorter 20-minute scenario, apparently. Let's get started. Good morning, driver. Today you will be driving the service from Gillingham to London, Victoria. It's snowing really heavily, thanks Captain Obvious, and this has already caused lots of problems on the tracks today, with one train blocking the fast lines at Denmark Hill. This means that all trains will have to pass on the slow lines, which will hold you up today. You will have to make an additional stop at Crofton Park, then call at Denmark Hill and London, Victoria. Those are our only 3 stops, apparently. Okay, we're going to go ahead and open the doors here at Crofton Park, because that's where we're starting. And we'll just pop outside the train for a second and show you the Crofton Park station, which we've never seen before, because it is the end of the route. And if we continue along here, under the bridge, we do see some buffers up there if we continue onwards, which we're not going to go all the way up to for obvious reasons. It's a continuity thing. So we're going to go ahead and just show you now the map that we are at the end of the route going towards Catford. This is the Chatham Main Line. So this is made up on the Chatham Main Line. This does exist in the game. We're going to be heading to this blocking train right now, which is going to itself waiting for a service to Ramsgate and Dover. This is part of a 2021 DLC that is now out. We're making our way eventually all the way up here in London, Victoria. Next stop will be Denmark Hill. We have been informed that because of a cancelled Southern train, we will have to stop additionally at Clapham High Street and Wandsworth Road. You might have already seen the spoiler on that. If you looked at the thing on the other screen, you saw the Clapham High Street and the Wandsworth Road. I didn't want to mention that, but I realized after I went to the map that, yeah, they were kind of spoiled. So we had a double yellow that might have turned green by the time we left. And if we look at the map now, sure enough, the blocking train up ahead is apparently moving. That is going to be our blocking train. It gave us the double yellow to start the scenario. Apparently it breaks down at Denmark Hill. I don't know. Now we do have a speed limit of 50 miles per hour. We are going to go via Peckham. We're not stopping at Peckham. We're only going via. I never turned on the wipers, so I should do that. Headlights might not even be on. They're on now. Whoever left the train to me literally shut it down on me, apparently. There's service to Ramsgate Dover that I showed you on the map earlier. So once again, if we were on the 2021 Chatham Mainline DLC, the one that includes Faversham's route as part of the DLC, we would actually be able to take that train all the way to Ramsgate and Dover, whichever one it was. So we're managing our speed under the 50 mile per hour speed limit right now. We are on a slight downhill gradient, not much at the moment. I might even be uphill by now because we're losing speed. But we are going to be moving into a 60 in just a moment, so I am putting a little throttle back on to prepare for that. We're junctioning in at very high speed. That didn't seem normal to me. Is that a yellow? Or is that speed warning for the 30? I'm not sure. It is a double yellow. Okay. We're not going to speed up too much because of that double yellow. The next signals are very close, actually. I should really start slowing it down right away for Peckham. 3/10 of a mile to the next signal. We don't have a lot of time to stop here. It is a double yellow, so I'm going to stay at 40 for right now. That seems okay for the time being. We're going via Peckham anyway. The reason we're being given those signals is because the train ahead of us had to slow down anyway. You can see Denmark Hill up ahead. That is our stop. You can see we still have a double yellow, so I'm not really too concerned right now because I'm getting the same signal. So I'm okay with this pace for the time being. I am going to have to watch my speed now because I'm starting to gain speed on a 1 in 75 gradient. We do have a 30 coming up. So we're going to get ourselves down in time for that. I'm going to actually do that right now because I know that we have to slow down to that 30 anyway. So if we have a yellow signal, that's even more reason to slow down. You can see we have a single flashing yellow signal, so the train ahead of us is out of our way. Our path is clear. I'm already down to 30, which might not be ideal, but you know what? We're doing it. Denmark Hill is now 2 minutes away according to our stop. Maybe about 1 minute according to our speed. There's our single yellow indicating junction to the left, so we're going to follow this left track now. The next signal could still be a red signal. We do not know this. This is the reason I haven't sped up yet. So if we look ahead at the next signal, we can see it is a yellow. There's a green on another track there we can see. The repeater does confirm that it is a yellow, so I'm just going to go ahead and come in at a little bit of a faster speed, and then we're going to hit the brakes. Double yellow, actually. I think that's our blocking train. Nope, that's Southeastern Stopper. Never mind. So we're going to stop right next to the station building. The middle two cars are going to be right there next to the building icon. Doors are open at Denmark Hill, platform number 1. Leaving Denmark Hill, our next stop is Clapham High Street. As you notice, the train brake moves to a 98% train brake while you're stopped, even if you try to apply throttle, so you can't go anywhere. So this train does use that as a safety function, which is good when you're sometimes inept like I can sometimes be in this game. We just moved to a green signal, so the train ahead of us is moving. Now that I can see that we are under a green signal, I'm going to go ahead and move up to line speed. But we know the next signal will currently be double yellow, and it is a very long signal block ahead to the single yellow. So yeah, I don't mind going up to 45 right now. I can tolerate that. But we are going to have to get up to down to 30 again by the time we actually get to that currently single yellow aspect up ahead. This is a double yellow we're passing right now. We're going to try to get to the speed limit because we're going to have some fun. we got to the speed limit, so we're having some fun. I moved to a coasting as we're on an uphill gradient. I need to slow down a little anyway, so I'm going to do that right now. That's where I want to be. Perfect. Down to 30 and moving at speed limit. This is now a double yellow aspect. So 9/10 of a mile ahead is a red signal. So we are now definitively following a moving train. If we didn't already have that figured out, we now know that. My expectation is that single yellow, that red aspect is going to still be there up ahead. So we have a single yellow aspect up ahead. The reason for that being the train is probably in the station at Clapham High Street right now, the one that we need. And we're going to be held if we come up too fast. We're going to be held until that train leaves. I've applied a little bit of power for now to get back to 27, but we're going to have to lower our speed anyway because we're coming to a downhill gradient, and if the signal ahead is indeed red, we are going to have to be prepared to stop at it. So lowering speed is not a bad idea. We have 2 minutes to make our stop, so we have lots of time to do that. That's a class 456. Let's take a quick peek at that 456 if we have an opportunity. That 456 that we just passed is not blocking train. It is this guy, Inner South London service. We did one of those already. So we need to see what the signal up ahead says. Right now we can't really see it, so I'm going to poke my head out the window and I'm just going to respond instinctively. We have a green signal anyway, so we don't even have to respond to anything. We just keep going. So the train has left. It's apparently 3 signals ahead of us, which means Wandsworth Road is apparently clear as well right now, which is excellent. So apparently the train that was in Clapham High Street doesn't stop at Wandsworth Road. That means we're going to be clear to make our stop there as well, which was also added to our itinerary. So again, we have a full minute and a half to make this stop. I can come in slowly and take my time, because we're going to have to wait at the station anyway if I come in too early. So let's just take our time. I come in at 15 miles per hour. Oh yeah, quiet. Now it's a double yellow at the end of the platform. Just turned green, actually. So I'm going to let the train slow down at a level 1 brake, because that seems easiest. We're going to open the doors, go to a full brake, and boarding at Clapham High Street. Leaving Clapham High Street, our next stop is scheduled to be Wandsworth Road. This is 3/10 of a mile away from our present location, and we only have about a minute to make this stop from a starting position. So we're getting ourselves up to 30 miles per hour quickly. We're probably going to jump over that to 35. There it is. That's fast enough. We don't need any more speed. We're going to start hitting the brakes probably about now. We're going to keep a gentle brake application here because we've already covered most of the distance, so we're doing pretty well right now. Let's just make sure we don't come too quickly in and have to risk wheel slip coming in, because that is a possibility at this station. Okay, one more level of brake should do it. Inching it back off. Back to that brake. That's what you call a perfect stop right there, kids. Arrival at Wandsworth Road, platform number 1. Leaving Wandsworth Road. Our next and final stop is London Victoria, about 1.9 miles away, the entrance to the platform. And we have about a little over 4.5 minutes to make our stop there. We are entering a 20 mile per hour speed limit on the junction here. Even though we left it at 45, we have to respect the 20. I can't seem to get settled on 0. So there we go. We're finally settled back on 0. I believe the service ahead here is a stopper service. Yeah, stopper to Dartford. Now you're going to notice I'm coasting right now as I enter the 35 mile per hour speed limit. I'm not increasing speed even though I'm dropping right now. The reason for that is because I expect to gain speed on the downhill beyond the 20 that I currently have as a speed limit. So here I am starting to gain speed now. There it is. I'm now hitting into 35, so we're good. I'm now over the old 20. I'm not going to get all the way to the speed limit by climbing down the hill, so I'll give a little bit of a speed burst here. And then I will remove that. I did not mean to brake there. We're going to monitor and see where this takes us. So we should be coming off the gradient now as we join the track. It's now a 1 in 47 and now flattening out to a 1 in 121 as we merge in at level ground. And now we're at 31 miles per hour. So we're going to move up a little bit more. We see we have a little bit of an uphill stretch coming up here, which is probably going to affect us because it is a very heavy uphill stretch. What do you expect? We're now at 35 miles per hour. That is our speed limit. But we're now entering this very heavy looking uphill. You'd think this would be a 1 in 40, but apparently not. Pardon me, guys. I do turn away from the mic whenever I need to cough, but it may not. It may still pick up. It very likely does still pick up because it seems to pick up noise from outside, so it's going to pick up coughing, unfortunately. I went to a 62% throttle right now. The reason being that green signal there is over the 1 in 24. The green signal, if that were a red signal, you do not want to stop at that signal, trust me. That's a heck of a jump to get moving, especially in the snow. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just be a little casual now because we're 2.5 minutes and 3/4 of a mile away from our stop. Based on my math, that gives us plenty of time, but we do want to start slowing down. We can do this in a minute and a half, technically, based on our current speed. But we do have to slow down to the 15. So we should still have plenty of time, but I do want to make sure I don't come in too fast. We are entering a downhill gradient here. We are under a double yellow aspect. We only have one more signal before the platform. So this has to be a double yellow. I'm going to go to 20 for right now so I can maintain a little speed here. Actually, that's not working because I'm gaining speed. So we're going to keep going down. Okay, never mind. We're just going to go down to 15. Close enough. We're now under the 15 mile per hour speed limit. We have to maintain this 15 for right now until we get off this 1 in 67 gradient, which we're starting to do now. We're now on level ground, and we're going to stay on level ground now, I believe, the rest of the way, so I can go ahead and let the gradient speed up the back of the train slightly, and after that, we're going to start slowing down again. So that means I'm going to apply a little bit of speed again. I think someone just went by back there. Here he goes. Trained it over. So we've passed our final signal. I'm going to go ahead and come in at 15 if I can. But as usual, and by the way, there's that, there's some more signage out the window. These are new signs compared to what we normally see at London Victoria when we're in the London to Brighton route. That second sign to the right looks familiar though. That doesn't look like it's changed. classic British trains or something like that. So we're getting back up to 15. I did not mean to go 40% throttle, so I had to be very aware of what I did there. There's an extra service to Ramsgate. You saw a bunch of other services and things. SN2, SN1, SN7, SN6. N01 is the blocking train. And that's how London is basically our stop, London Victoria 5. We're supposed to be there now. So I'm questioning how accurate these timings are. I'm going to find out. If I pull in the platform, will I be in the right amount of time for making this stop? Or did I not manage the speeds properly? We're going to find out. I'm just coasting at 12 right now. I want to go a little bit further just in case the front of the platform doesn't allow the doors to open. So I'm going to get up to the building, then I'm going to get ourselves stopped. The ETA is now a minute behind. There you go. This should be good enough. So I'm going to go ahead and open the doors here. We're going to find out if we did good enough. Let's look at the train. Normally I take the train a lot further in towards the buffer, but after that incident at London Bridge, not opening the doors and all that, I'm just a little more tension related to that right now. So we're going to find out if I made the stop well enough. I'm going to turn the headlights off, by the way, because I'm done here. So I'm going to find out if I made the stop early enough. If not, I'll have to come back and just stop the first car on the platform and get the points that way. But for right now, you've managed to arrive at London Victoria, ensuring that passengers have managed to get to their destination despite the delays today. Well done. Let's see how I did. Unlock South London Network top score. There we go. What does that mean, you're probably going to ask? Well, let me tell you what that means. That means that we have basically, click on it and find out. It basically means that awarded for completing all career scenarios in the DLC pack with a score of 6,500 points, which I assume is across all 7 scenarios. So yeah, we've done that because 7,000 points are available and 7,000 points have been gotten. So that's that. What are we going to do next time? We're going to move to the class 455 because I think that's a good idea right now. Now, there is a possibility that something else could come up in the meantime and upend my plans. That would depend on if DTG announces something that I really want to show off. So if that happens, my plans may get upended. But for right now, I am thinking of doing the 455 next. Why does that start in the middle? So, I don't have bronze. Come on. So yeah, 455 is my next thought of plans. It'll be my 3rd time recording the Portsmouth direct line scenarios for you. Unless I can find the clips somewhere, and then you won't hear anything about this route on them. But I want to talk about them next time, so I may just re-record them anyway. But I've lost those clips twice. I want to get them done. I want to get them published. I don't want to do them again after that. So I'm going to get them done. I'm going to get them published. And then that's a good leeway for coming back to South London Network and doing the 455 on South London Network, because that'll be a newer version of the train on the standalone DLC. And then once I've done that, well, now I'm clear to go ahead and put the enhancements in place so we can look at the Armstrong Powerhouse version of the train. You see how I'm working this out, guys? I'm working this out so we get to see the base train, an upgrade version, and then we go to the creme de la creme that everyone seems to love. And I understand why people love the Armstrong trains. I've driven the 66. You saw that I loved it. So I'm going to love this one as well, I'm pretty sure. We'll get to the Armstrong one in the future, though, because that's still weeks away, needless to say. The one we're going to be doing next time is the original basic default version of the 455 that was a standalone DLC for the Portsmouth direct line. The 455 that is showing up on with the Ceros here. I'm not sure where that one is coming from. I'm going to do some more research on that and talk to you about it when I come back to this route. But I know the 455 I'm looking at first. Actually, I think I do know. The 455 I'm looking at first does come with Ceros for Portsmouth direct line. It is the original old one, the 455 Type 9. We'll talk about that more next time. I'm Cycle. Make sure you have a wonderful day, evening, night, whatever it is for you, your part of the world. And make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel as well. I could keep talking, but I don't want to extend this in and talk about next video. We're going to talk about that next video. So I've got 4 stereos coming up on the Portsmouth direct line. I'll see you for those probably next time. And then we'll see what happens in terms of DTG announcements and see what, or what I feel like doing. I might go to America for a while before I come back to finish the 455. I don't know yet. We'll figure it out as we go. But for right now, 455 is probably happening next time, unless something happens after I record these, and I'll let you know then what that is. But in the meantime, have a wonderful day of your night. I'll see you next time for more Let's Play Train Simulator Classic. I'm Cyclone. Bye-bye.